Finland, a country in northern Europe with thousands of scenic lakes and vast forests. It is also known for its outstanding educational and welfare systems and the distinct lifestyle of its people. What does the centennial anniversary of Finland's independence mean to its people? What kind of future does it dream of? We sit down with Finnish ambassador to Korea, Eero Suominen, to find out. Today on Heart to Heart, Finnish ambassador Eero Suominen speaks about the first Moomin Exhibition in Korea and other events marking the 100th anniversary of Finland's independence.
My father is kind, he's also funny, and he gives me candy when I'm upset, and he takes me to Moomin Land in the summer holidays.
We're joined with His Excellency Eero Suominen, the ambassador of Finland, a country that is well known for not only Santa Claus, but Moomin. Thank you so much for joining us today.
안녕하세요, all the Korean people and all the people watching Arirang. I'm very happy that you have invited me to this show, and of course I'm happy to talk about Finland and other things of life in this interview.
Yes, well, welcome once again, and thank you so much for joining us today. Now, the year 2017 has a very special meaning to Finland as it marks the centennial anniversary of its independence. So I'd like to ask you about the centennial anniversary of independence. What meaning does this special occasion have to you?
It is a very special year for us, and we are very proud of our independence. It's in comparison with other countries, it's only 100 years. There is countries that have a very long independence, long history. But when we think about Finland about 100 years ago, we were a small autonomous archduchy under the Russian Tsar. And we were poor, we are an agricultural country. Now, after 100 years, we are an independent country. We are a country with high tech, we are a country with clean tech, we are a country of education. We are a market economy, democracy, and we have a society that functions in a very good way. So we are quite proud of it, and we have made a very long way.
Yes, you have definitely gone through a lot of changes and, as you've said, come a long way. Now, in the beginning of our show, I introduced you and mentioned that Finland is well known for Santa Claus as well as Moomin, and we actually have the comic strip character Moomin in front of us and some books and a notepad, I see. I'd like to ask you about Moomin. Could you tell us about Moomin, when it was created, and what meaning it has to the Finns?
Moomin was created in the 1930s and 1940s. It was developed little by little. The first time it appeared 1930s, but then in the 1940s, that was the main time for the development of the Moomin. And it was quite an interesting time for Finland because we were at war. We were part of the Second World War. We had very hard time defending our independence. And Tove Jansson, the author, she wanted to create another kind of a world for peace, a world for understanding, and a world for also which was more tolerant, a world that had a lot of more positive philosophy in the years of the war. She was quite shocked about the war, and it was very hard time for many of the Finns. And that's how she created the movement. So they're a bit bohemians. They are sort of, they were against the authorities. They were a little bit more humoristic. They wanted to make a life a little bit more funnier, a little bit more not so serious in the times of the. And also they she brought the life nearer to nature. She wanted to talk about nature. And this is quite a good example. This is a nearly published book. Unfortunately, now only Finnish, I think also in Swedish, because actually Tove Jansson belonged to the Swedish minority of Finland. We have two official languages. Swedish is the other one. So I think this is also in Swedish. And the original texts are actually in Swedish. And this is from the island. She had a little island far away in the sea. And there she spent all the summers. And that's where she got lots of ideas. And that's where she got the love for the nature, love for the sea, love for the plants. And this is quite interesting. And also, this is not the book for children. This is a book for adults. There's a lot of wisdom, there's a lot of philosophy, and about the life, about sorrow, about being discriminated. But at the same time, it was discussed and it was dealt in a quite a soft way. It is in a soft and philosophical way. And there was all the different kinds of characters along. There's a father Moomin, mother Moomin, the girlfriend, their friends. And that was the way, that's a little bit softer way of life. And this is how everything started and it began to grow.
The Moomin characters are popular not only in Europe, but all over the world. At a glance, they look like hippos, but the Moomins are actually trolls that often appear in Northern European legends.
In Nordic tradition, in Scandinavian tradition, there are these creatures called trolls. And in general, they are ugly and mean and not very nice. But of course, we know that Moomin trolls are very nice.
The Moomins were created shortly after World War II. The creator emphasized peace and nature friendliness to comfort Finnish people who were devastated by the war. The Moomins discover the value of coexistence and respect and the true meaning of happiness through various adventures in their valley, where they live with their friends and loved ones. This exhibit shows everything about the history of the Moomins over the past 7 decades, including Tove Jansson's drawings, 3-dimensional works, and works that have never been disclosed before. The Moomin series consists of 9 original books and has been translated into more than 50 languages as novels, picture books, and comics. If you are a fan of the Moomins, don't miss this chance. Now, actually, as a matter of fact, there is a special exhibition that's being held right now. It's underway in Korea, just in time for the 100th anniversary of Finland's independence. And it's a Moomin Exhibition. So could you tell us about that exhibition?
First, we are very happy about it, of course, that, Moomins are really officially coming to Korea while they have been here for several years. It started the 1st of September. I was in the opening session. We were very happy to have the brother's daughter to Tove Jansson, the artist who was present here with her husband. So we were very honored about it. It is also quite interesting because there is a lot of paintings and scripts that are first time outside of Finland, and there is very unique things that are hanging on the walls, and I've heard that it is a very, very good exhibition. I skipped it very quickly in the opening session, but I'm sure to go there again and spend much more time there in peace and quiet.
I've always wondered, before having this opportunity to meet you and talk about Moomin today, what Moomin actually is. I always thought it was a hippo or something close to a hippo. It's a troll.
It's a troll.
It's a troll.
It's a troll. And it has changed a little bit the character. It was a bit slimmer before. Now it's a little bit more big. It's a bigger character at the moment.
I guess the Moomins have become cuter.
Yeah, well, yes, and it's nice to hug. And,
Yes, as a matter of fact, my little boy, he sleeps with a Moomin, so he has a Moomin.
I think he has very sweet dreams.
I hope so. Now, of course, I mean, we are talking about, the Moomins. The Moomins represents, as you said, the nature-friendly lifestyle of Northern Europeans, and it's quite appealing to a lot of people, especially Koreans are just falling in love with the character and the Moomins and everything about this, nature somehow related or nature-friendly lifestyle, I guess. We see home decors and even cuisines of Northern Europe that's becoming more and more popular in Korea. What do you think is the reason behind this?
Well, I think that's mainly now that we are pretty near the nature. It is because we have the quite strong 4 seasons. You have also in Korea,
Yes.
but we have even stronger and more tragic. And it's also the pace of life. In Nordic countries, we have, because of the nature and because of we are very scarcely populated, the lifestyle is a little bit more, less busy. And I know that here people are very busy. So one is longing for a little bit slower lifestyle. And I think that is something. And also because we have a lot of nature around us. And this is something that we live with the nature, and it is very important for us.
There it is.
Finland is also very well known for its advanced educational system, and people say it's one of the world's best. Now, Korean students, of course, they do well in their studies. They're known for that. But I understand that there is a big difference in how children are taught in Finland and in Korea. Children in Finland enjoy studying. That's what I heard. But Korean students, students here in Korea, studying for them is just so difficult. It's just tormenting. So what would you say is the biggest difference between the educational system or methods between Korea and Finland when it comes to, children's education?
I think it is less competition in Finland, and you compete mainly with yourself. Now, actually, I'm a father, and my children many of them have gone through the Finnish system, some have gone through the international system, but they haven't gone through the Korean system, so I have no experience about it. But as far as I understand, the Finnish children has much more own life, and they have their hobbies, and they can do that with, actually, again, not so much competition. It's for fun, it's for learning. It's actually competing with yourself, not competing with other ones. Of course, we have exams. Of course, we have to place children in some kind of competition. But it's less fierce. You have to find your own ways. It's much more individuality. But this is, of course, as a father whose children haven't been to a Korean school, so I don't have any sort of personal experiences about it is. And of course, we have different kinds of training for the teachers. You know, the teachers have master's degree and they are well prepared. They have certain targets, but of course there's lots of different ways of achieving them and do a little bit experiments. And I have heard that, you know, there is quite a lot of interest among Korean teachers to see how the things go in Finland or how the things are done. But of course that we are different societies and the answers are different. But I think that we enjoy quite good results, and taking into consideration the input, the parents, the children, and the state's input, that we have a quite effective system. And it's quite good for the children, for their personal development. And it's not very one-sided. You know, you have your own personal life, your own personal hobbies that the children want to pursue, and that is quite important for us.
That's true. I totally agree with you. Now, Finland has also, quite recently, I mean, more and more, been emerging as a very popular tourist destination, especially because of its beautiful natural scenery. So, is there a place that you would like to personally recommend to people planning to visit Finland?
Several places.
Several, okay, yes, please.
Well, you start from Lapland, where Santa lives, and you have the Northern Lights, and you have plenty of possibilities to ski and hike in the nature in the summertime. It is also, we have a lake district with vast big lakes that you can go with a boat. Very nice, interesting little cities like Lappeenranta, Savonlinna with the opera festival, Kuopio with the dancing festival. There's a lot of things to happen there. And then of course Helsinki, then Turku, the old capital, Tampere, which is the industrial, one of the industrial but very cultural city. And then we have a very beautiful archipelago. And it is beautiful to go there, especially in the summer. In the winter, you go there through the ice, but perhaps that's a bit more different experience. But it is beautiful. There's a lot of things to see, and lots of different things to see.
I see. So the best season to visit Finland is during the summer season?
It depends.
It depends.
It depends.
I guess
summer is usually, our holiday season is July. What is quite interesting is June, because you know that's the most. The longest nights are in June, the midsummer, and but then when you think about, let's say, Lapland in March, April, it's not so cold. There's still sun, a lot of sun. There's still snow. It's a different kind of experience. Autumn this month is a bit dark and rainy.
So if you're looking for that, why not?
Yeah, well, yes, it's because I realized that our summers are not that hot. So many people from Asia, they like it because it's cool. It's quite nice to go sightseeing because it's not too hot.
Okay. Finland, a country of thousands of lakes and vast forests. Everywhere you go, you see the woods, grassland, and sparkling lakes. Enjoy the gift of nature in Finland. Now, is there a must-buy item? What would you say is the one must-buy item in Finland?
Well, went through a lot of things, and the problem actually is that what I would like to see is that one must is not actually something you can buy. It's the Finnish forests. Because I remember my daughter, who was 8 years, she came from China, where she lives at the moment. And she said to me and to my wife that in Helsinki, that, yeah, this smells Finland. I said, how does that smell? She said, yes, it smells like forest and fresh air. And I felt that that's Finland. But what you get from the forest, that because we have every man's right. So you go to the forest, you pick up blueberries, and you have the right to do that in wherever. And you know what you get from blueberries. It's very delicious drinks, very delicious food. It's very healthy. That's something that you know that you can do. Or when you think about the Finnish design, where does it come from? From the woods. Or the Finnish music. Sibelius used to go with her violin in the woods and listen to the humming of the trees. But you cannot export that to Korea. But there's a lot of things that come from the woods, and we live among the woods. And that is something very unique. But bring something made from the woods. We make paper from the woods. It's sustainable industry. And we make food, we make nearly whatever.
Okay, maybe we could take a little bottle and bring back the forest air.
Yes, or the blueberry soup.
Blueberry soup.
Blueberry soup or blueberry liquor.
I've never tried blueberry soup.
You should try it. It's healthy and very good.
Okay, so tourists planning to travel to Finland, you all should try. Blueberry liquor, did you say?
Yes, blueberry liquor, and there's also blueberry soup, all kinds of things made of blueberries, lingonberries. They are worthwhile eating it. Or then you have some design made of wood. It's something that is very near to our nature.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind. What would you like to, or what do you hope to achieve during the remainder of your tenure here as Ambassador of Finland to Korea?
I suppose that we will work here 3 more years, and we have very, very close contacts on nearly all levels of society. We have politicians, we have businessmen, we have teachers. What I would like to see is, the contacts with, I would say, ordinary people, because I think that our chemistry is a little bit similar, that we love education, we love hard work, we like honesty. And that's something that I think that we get along very well with each other. And I think it's a good idea for the Koreans to go to Finland to have a unique tourist experience. But I think that for the Finns, I would like that especially now that after the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics, that they would see what a wonderful and what an interesting country Korea is. I have had several relatives and several friends visiting me, and I see that they are fascinated about Korea, and they say that there's so much to see and much more than they expected. So I feel that this is something that I would wish that would happen in the next 3 days, that I will be able to increase the interaction between the people from the cities, from the countryside.
What were you most surprised by when you came to Korea, and your family as well? What did they love so much about Korea, a part they didn't know about?
I think that mainly one of the things is the art and the culture, the high standard of the Korean music, Korean art. This is something that we don't know enough. It was, I would say that it's not surprised, but I met a Finnish artist and I said, it was my first one, how is it to work here? He said that it's fascinating that, people, they are very ambitious, they work very hard and they deliver what they promise. And it's something that is very important for the Finns. And I think that is the same, that is something that I was very happy about it, and I felt that the life was quite sort of straightforward, quite understandable for a Finn.
Well, I hope that you continue to enjoy your time here in Korea, and that Korea treats you well before you return home. And I'd like to thank you for giving us this opportunity to learn so much about Finland and about Moomin, the character as well. It was a wonderful time. I had a wonderful time. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for you. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
감사합니다. Moomin.